They say silence speaks louder than words. But what happens when that silence starts to suffocate you? When the words you never said begin to echo in your own head, louder than any scream? This is the story of Eleanor, a woman who learned that sometimes the quietest choices carry the heaviest consequences. Eleanor was the kind of person who never liked conflict. She believed peace came from silence, from staying calm, avoiding arguments, and letting time heal what words could break. But silence doesn't always heal. Sometimes it rots, like a wound left untreated. Her husband, Daniel, was loud, not just in his voice, but in his presence. He spoke without thinking, acted without pause, and believed emotions were weaknesses to be controlled. Eleanor, on the other hand, bottled everything. Every argument, every tear. Every time he said something cruel, she simply smiled and said, "I'm fine." She wasn't. The home they built together became a museum of quiet dinners and unspoken tension. Daniel stopped asking how her day was. Eleanor stopped expecting him to care. The silence between them grew thick, like fog in an empty room. She thought staying quiet would keep them together. Instead, it became the very thing that pulled them apart. One evening, Eleanor found a message on Daniel's phone. A text from another woman that simply said, "I miss you too." Her hands shook, her chest tightened, but she said nothing. She stared at the screen, then quietly placed his phone back where it was. She didn't cry. She didn't confront him. She just went to bed beside him, the same man who was already halfway gone. Weeks passed. The silence grew unbearable. Eleanor realized she wasn't staying quiet for peace anymore. She was staying quiet because she was afraid. Afraid of being alone. Afraid of what truth might destroy. Afraid that if she finally spoke, it would all end. But then she remembered something her mother once said. "You don't lose people when you speak the truth. You lose the people who can't handle it." That night, Eleanor finally spoke. "Daniel," she said softly, "I know about her." He froze. For the first time in years, silence wasn't her shield, it was his punishment. She didn't shout. She didn't cry. She just said, "I loved you enough to stay silent, but now I love myself enough to speak." He didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. And as Eleanor walked away, the weight that had pressed against her chest for years finally lifted. Months later, she would sit by the window of her new apartment, a small space filled with plants, sunlight, and peace. No noise, no chaos, just quiet. But this time, it was a different kind of silence, not empty but calm. Because silence, when chosen freely, isn't weakness, it's power. And the words we never say sometimes define us more than the ones we do. So remember, silence can protect you, or it can destroy you. It all depends on what you're keeping quiet about.